All right. Welcome to another edition of Barn Banter with Baker. Hope everybody's super excited. I apologize if I gave the impression that I was going to be in Miami. I am not in Miami, but the guests that we have on today are in Miami. Let's give everybody a few seconds here to join in. Couple housekeeping notes as always. On the bottom corner is the arrow. If you want to share this with someone that you think might be interested in joining the live, click on that and send it out to your contacts. And then if you've got some questions, as I've said before, it's hard to have an engaging discussion and see all the comments go by. So it does flag me right next to the, just to the left of the arrow is the question mark. Put your question in there and we'll try and answer it for you. Yeah, this will be on YouTube this afternoon and on Spotify and Google Podcasts tomorrow. All right, looks like I've got my two guests coming in. What?
They both show up at the same time. Oh no, I gotta do them both. There's one!
What's up, Father Baker?
How are you, my man?
I'm doing well.
There's two. I'm good. So you're just gonna rub it in, you're literally sitting, you're both sitting on the beach.
No, not
right
quite.
Behind you. Oh,
Rooftop.
Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close.
We're in the neighborhood. The beach is just roughly that way. I don't know if you can see.
I can see the ocean, so I can't see the ocean from my place, so you're way closer than I am.
What's the temperature in Alberta right now?
It's actually gorgeous right now. No, it's gorgeous. It's like 10 above. So what is that for you guys? 52 or something? 55,
right. That's t-shirt.
Maybe?
That's shorts and t-shirts right there.
Yeah, for Canadians.
Especially for Albertans, it's shorts and t-shirt weather.
Yes, it is. The winter is almost over.
Thank God.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
I lost your voice there, bud.
Oh.
There you go. You're
Am I
back.
back?
Yes, you are. Greg
go.
Giusotti in the house. How are you, Greg? I see that's our hometown guy. That's an installer from Albany County. Buddy.
There, Mr. Buddy's there. We'll be seeing him too.
Oh my. Yep, we're
That's
live from the rooftop here. I'm gonna walk around a bit and show you. Let me see if I can flip this camera around.
Make us all jealous. Please do that.
I know you're helping Canada. They won't let you out, huh?
No, they won't. It's crazy times.
It is indeed, my friend. It is.
Hopefully the governments of the world pull their heads out of their butts and get things going in the right direction.
Hopefully. There's a lot of heads that need to be removed from butts for a lot of different reasons.
Say that again? Sorry, I lost you there for a second.
There's a lot of heads in butts that need to be removed for different reasons.
Yes. Oh, you got to be careful how you say that. Some people take that the wrong way. Are you inciting violence? My goodness, heads and butts?
No. We're all about peace. We're all about peace.
All about peace. That's an amazing view. I'll stop there for a second.
Yeah. Matthew jumping in the pool there? Or no?
I jumped in the pool just a bit. I jumped in the pool just a bit here.
He's got pool hair. He just got out of the pool and now he's letting it air dry.
He's got the nicest hair in the company, no doubt.
So tell us about you, a little bit about your personal history. How did you end up at Centrotherm?
That's a damn good question. Matthew, why don't you go first because you were there first.
All right, so I've been at Centrotherm now for 7 years, and actually I'm maybe one of the most tenured guys at the company now, the CEO and a handful of other people, and then me, right? So we've grown a lot in the time that I've been around. I used to work for NPR, and
Okay.
we needed a media guy. Basically, the previous person in my role couldn't spell, couldn't do cool videos. So we needed to expand a little bit, and they brought me on, and I've been doing the like sort of digital marketing stuff ever since. Obviously, we do the podcast now, and
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be sharing some videos like in my presentation tomorrow, some cool animations and explainers and stuff. We're just trying to make it. My job is to make this selling this stuff easy and make it easy to understand. So whether that's like a PDF explainer, like a short guide, or like a tutorial video, or like a crazy event here where we put a mask on certain sales directors and send that out to the world.
Yeah.
One thing I will give credit, I wanna say and full credit to Mike here, who's on with us, and also to Joel and our European parent company and stuff. They really believe in a lot of the stuff that we're doing, and they let us be creative. And I think they recognize how effective, with the branding and all that stuff it is. So we get to have a lot of fun doing that stuff too, which is one of just the best parts of it too. And I just want a quick shout out to Eric at Mechanical Hub as well.
You can't do that. What is wrong with you? Me and Eric are not friends.
Oh, is that? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm totally kidding.
You're gullible, Price. You're gullible.
I don't know, man. Hey, everybody's got grudges and whatnot, and I respect them all. But he couldn't make it down here either, so I felt I should represent him a little bit here on the video too. So Eric, if you're watching, what's up, man? We miss you. We love you, just like we love you, Father Baker.
Well, I appreciate that. I should say before we get into Mike's story there, the only reason that we are actually using your products is because of Eric. That was probably 2.5 years ago. I saw him doing some install, and I was like, dude, what in the hell is that stuff? And unfortunately, and I want to talk about that a little bit deeper, when I asked my wholesalers, they were like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, they had no idea what I was asking for.
That's part of what we're trying to do with getting the word out, and some of the things that we're doing is, kind of evangelize, if you will, who we are, what we do, why it's a better way of doing things.
Yeah. No, it's working. And we have used nothing but since then in every application that we can. So
excellent. Love to hear that.
If you can, if you need to send Eric some money, whatever.
The check's on the way. Check's in the mail, Eric.
All right, we got Matthew's story. What's yours, Mike?
So I've been with the company now approaching 5 years. It's not quite 5, but approaching. And I came from a parallel industry. I came from the electrical side of the business. I worked for a company which probably many of you know, Square D, Schneider Electric. Had very similar type of assignments. Just the timing was right. I got approached by a headhunter. The timing was good, and I made the change. And one of the things I say is, as much as, electrical products are very different than venting products, how the products get to market is really similar. The difference being the product itself and the names of the customers and the contractors and the distributors. Instead of like the big guys like the Wosleys, the Emcos, and the smaller, more residential or more family, single location. I mean, on the electrical side, you had the Gray Bars and the Wescos. We had reps on the electrical side, different rep, but in essence, what's different is the names and the product itself. And kind of tying back to Matthew, I mean, he gave a little accolade about the, why we're doing what we're doing. We are pretty creative, but I can't take anything away. Some of the things that we're doing with the videos and the visuals, there's not many people that could pull it off other than Matthew Price. I think the world of him. And, he comes up with some incredible content. And just wait. We're going to be live streaming on Wednesday. It is going to be amazing what we do. The content is going to be revolutionary for the industry. So,
revolutionary? You're
revolutionary.
You're throwing around some big words there, man.
I know it is. It's quite the project that we've undertaken. And again, it wouldn't be done. We couldn't do it without Matthew's help. It's pretty
well.
Good.
I appreciate those kind words. Michael and I have been kind of joined at the hip since he started. And, we work really well together as a team. Again, full credit to him believing in me and keeping me engaged and whatnot as well. I'm one of those millennials that get super bored, right? I'm on to the next project.
I can tell that by your camera, man. You're
all over the place.
He's always moving.
We're making content. We're making content here, right? So, ultimately, Michael and I have traveled a lot together. We've worked we've brainstormed projects. Sometimes we're like, maybe that's a little too far. And other times it's like, no, we're going to slam this one home, and a lot of it's worked out. And this is easily, this Miami thing, the Centrotherm Squid Games is, unequivocally, unabashedly, without doubt, the biggest thing we've ever put together.
No question.
You're blowing up my feed, man. I can tell you that.
Love to hear it, man.
If I see another cat or a rabbit with a hat or a shirt,
I want to see if you got pets, man. I want to see the Centrotherm logo with them, man.
Well, you got goats and stuff, right?
I got goats, I got chickens, I got cats, I got dogs. I got it all, man.
Please send.
All right. I figured. So this isn't good enough. I gotta take it up.
It's good. It's good. But goats? Come on, goats.
No one. We don't have a goat yet in any pictures, do we?
No, I haven't seen a goat yet.
Not yet.
All right, I'll make that happen today for you.
Amazing. Right. Please do. Pipes and pets. Pipes and pets, man. That's what it's all about.
Pipes and pets. I like that.
And speaking of pipes and something that Matthew was saying earlier, what we always talk about is bringing the sexy back. Venting is not the sexiest product, but we try to make it exciting and sexy here at Centrotherm.
But it's so key, right? Maybe it's not sexy, but it's certainly crucial to everything. From my point of view as an installer, it's probably number 1 or 2 on the list of how am I going to do this job, right?
Right. It's often left to the end, though, which you're absolutely correct. But a lot of times people don't think of it until late.
Yeah. So Centrotherm's been around for 20 plus years, and you guys are everywhere.
We are actually. We've been around for 125 years. This year is our European Brethren's anniversary. We're actually going to be heading over there for the 125th celebration. But here in North America, let's say, it's been, 11 years or so since they introduced the Innoflu brand. And actually, Canada was a little, kind of led a little bit even before the U.S.
Really? So, you have your Innoflu, am I saying that right? Innoflu. Yes. And then you have which I have never heard of. I did some research on you guys. What's the Air Excellence?
So Air Excellent is an air distribution product that can be used when you have an ERV or an HRV in a home. Houses, especially up in Canada, being built tighter and tighter, you need to do air exchanges.
Yeah.
You can either have a dedicated system or a semi-dedicated system, and it allows you to distribute, after you go through a heat exchanger or a temperature exchange through an ERV or an HRV, it distributes the air through a house. In essence, it's bringing in, fresh air and pulling out moist air, just exchanging air in your home.
Do you guys work with high velocity systems as well on that sort of stuff, or is that different?
No, we know the guys at High Velocity Systems. It's a little different. You're pairing up our product with a Banter or another type of ERV HRV product.
Yeah.
We launched it. Timing is everything. We critically timed it to launch in the middle of COVID, and it's been going good. It was tough to get out to visit people, but the product right now is kind of humping right now. It's doing really well.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. We were talking to Matt there last week with Plumbing Monstars. That's when he started his business in the middle of COVID. So you're not alone in that.
He's great. He's hilarious, that guy.
He is hilarious. He's got those innuendo looks down the pat.
Oh, he sure does. He cracked me up the other day. He messaged me. He said, "You guys are the only guys who'll share my stuff." And I was like, "Oh, it's too good not to." He's too funny. I don't know, Mike, if you saw the other day when he was lubricating his pipe.
Lubricating his shaft for his fitting on the end, man. Yeah.
I'll stay quiet here for a little bit. I'll let you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
hilarious.
you're 125 years. The other thing that it says, but it doesn't go into much detail, is you guys actually make product for venting product for boilers themselves, like in like components of boilers.
Yep.
Yes. So we have in our sales group, we have a gentleman by the name of Jim Stafford here in North America. He's our OEM business development manager, and he works with the OEMs in a number of different ways. First, to your point, he's working with them to design internal components, whether they be collars or drip pans or non-return valves, and those products are bought by OEMs and they kind of build them into their equipment. He also helps us on the venting side, where he does a lot of work and gets no credit for it, at least outright. He's making sure that our products are approved for all OEMs, so we can't vent. So he's working with them with ULCS 636 and with UL 1738 here in the U.S., making sure that we're approved for venting, for common venting. There's a lot of work that goes behind that. So contractors.
I can't imagine.
I'll add a little bit too. So he does customer service too, no doubt about it, right? So you wouldn't believe how often we get questions from somebody with let's say a Ream email address comes in stuff. So he works with them when they have questions about certain ways and applications of the vent systems, not even just the internal stuff, but he kind of becomes the liaison. And, we work with all the OEMs, and I mean, a lot of them have questions, and he does a great job, wheeling and dealing, giving them engineering advice, working with our engineers, putting our engineers with their engineers, that kind of stuff. He's relatively new to the company too, probably about a year and a half, 2 years at this point.
Yeah, year and a half.
And just a darling man. I can't get enough of that salt and pepper beard.
Yeah.
I hope no one ever calls me a darling man. I just want you to know that. Hopefully that's a compliment going his way.
It is, absolutely.
I know it's meant as one. I hope he takes it as one.
Oh, he will. He definitely will.
So you talk about the process of getting that product on the market, and I mean, you guys see some of the comments that go out there, and we're all subject to the meatballs of the world that, like, man, this stuff is crap, or it's shit, or whatever. Like, how long does it take you to go from your head, this is what we want to do, like, how many approval processes are there? And I mean, obviously you don't have to lay out the specifics, but the investment in the government bureaucracies to make that so I can go to the wholesaler and buy it.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it's tricky. UL 1738 in the U.S. is different than 636s in Canada. There's a lot more tests for the U.S. standard, but it's a very, very expensive process of time. A very long process time. There's some manufacturers, polypropylene, that have one. Both of the listings, we have both. There's some PVC products that have one, but not the other. Some have both. It's tricky. Actually, part of, and maybe some of the participants in the game here, we may give one of the answers out. Part of the games is a Kahoot game, and we were just looking at the U.S. requirement for getting UL 1738. Again, it's a long process, a lot of testing. And this is one of the answers to the questions in the games. Pay
attention.
There are 47 physical tests for UL 1738 here in the U.S. There's a number of other requirements that are needed.
Tom and Buddy, that's one of the harder questions. I see some participants in the chat.
47. So it depends, right? The European standard is different than the Canadian standard, which is different than the U.S. standard. Our product meets all three of them. I don't think there's any other brand that meets all three of those products today. All three of those standards today.
Yeah, that was part of the discussion with my wholesaler was, well, maybe it's not CSA approved. I'm like, no, I looked it up. It is. So you guys got to find this for me. And so, I mean, we all get our whatever, our knickers in the knot or whatever you want to call it when people sort of come after us with uneducated comments, which I get. I mean, I guess that's Matt's job, is to get that product out there and let people know that. But it's just I've been involved with a couple of boiler manufacturers over the years, and just the effort and time and money that you guys as a company have to invest to make that stuff available. And somebody says, well, it falls apart when you install it. And your answer is you didn't read the instructions.
Well, so it is. I'm on the lookout for that stuff all the time, right? So I do a majority of the Centrotherm social media stuff, which is where you see those comments, right? Some of the more polite people might write to the website, and then I typically direct them to customer service. If they're gonna when they write to the website, it's more like they have a question. A lot of people are shooting from the hip on social media, and maybe they had a bad experience. And I mean, certainly I am polite with those folks. I am I want to provide them with if they're nasty, then I just kind of leave it as it is, and I'm not gonna engage them, because where are you gonna go from there, right? There's been plenty of times when people are just kind of nasty, and I am I'm not gonna make headway either way. But typically, if you engage them in a way that is respectful and provides them with resources and constructive and asking further questions to get their actual experience, saying that we value your opinion and we want to make sure that, one, we answer your question, and two, you have the right information going forward. I am frequently up in the DMs. I slide into the DMs, as they say, with technical videos or links to training, stuff like that. And one of the things I must say and give credit to people like Tom in the chat, as I hear right now, is we have a lot. We've created a good network of advocates who are successful installers. Buddy is a perfect example of this. Buddy gets it. He gets the understanding of temperature limits and why certain vent materials are unsafe, and why certain ones aren't maybe the best to use in certain applications and stuff. And I mean, he is unafraid to explain it to people, right? And we have a good network of folks who want to make sure that they take pride in the whole industry, and they don't want misinformation, and they do not want improper installations to have some negative consequences out there. I have seen often my work is done for me sometimes in a comment chain where somebody has said, well, maybe this, maybe that, and that's why this happened. Maybe you should do this next time, whether it's connector rings or more lubrication or proper support or correct pitch. There's it's a whole system, and it's not a untechnical system, right? Obviously, it's a life safety product dealing with carbon monoxide, so you better get it right, and a lot of guys who have very thick integrity and a lot of pride in this industry are they go to bat for us because of the safety elements of our product.
Yeah, and actually, there's been a couple of comments that have been scrolling by here. Velocity Plumbing said, "Hey, you gotta read the manual. It's different, right? Just the analogy that I always use, it was like ProPress was years ago. No one knew it, no one understood it, no one wanted to change. But once they tried it, it was like an epiphany moment, right? That's how I see our product. And then there's another comment in here that I said that someone said, "Are we using social media?" I'm an old timer compared to most out there.
Are we using it right now?
Young kid. What's that?
Are we using it right now?
We are, and we believe in it. We believe in it, and we want to be what we talk about this all the time at Centrotherm. We want to be the thought leaders in our space, not only from a technical perspective, but from a sales perspective and a marketing perspective. We want to, when somebody thinks of venting, we want us to be what people think of as being professional, technical, and the experts in the field. And we try to create our organization and structure our group to be that thought leader in the space.
Well, I'll commend you guys. I think you're on that path, and the goal is obviously, I mean, you have it well thought out, and that direction is getting ever closer. I think. What do you think? What do you think some of your biggest obstacles of that are?
Well, it depends on the market. One is, we always talk about it. Matthew talks about Generation Xers like me and millennials like himself. Uh, and the fact that we've got a broad spectrum of people still in the field. We got boomers that are still installing.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got Xers that are installing. We got millennials and Zs, right? Their needs, the way they think about things is different. So one of the challenges is how do we serve all the market, right? The other challenge here in the U.S. is that we don't have mandated code. Certainly makes our life easier when there's a code that is mandated. There's a
yeah, yeah.
recognized code here in the U.S., but it's not mandated everywhere. It's growing, and it'll get there. But it certainly makes on the sales and marketing side makes it easier if there's a mandatory code.
Are you guys
Uh,
part of those discussions with like code groups
yeah,
and
we
governments
work
and councils?
we
Certainly,
work with.
we're members of IAPMO. We're members of ICC. We've attended NFPA meetings.
Yeah.
A lot of our reps are pretty in with government officials, and they attend fire marshal type meetings and things like that. So we try to do a full court press on it. I mean, it's obviously it behooves us to get those codes passed, but it makes a lot of sense. It's best when we have an advocate who is not us necessarily discussing the
Yeah, yeah.
life safety element of it. I mean, they could look at us and say, well, obviously you got skin in the game here, which is true. I mean, it's just to be perfectly honest about it. So,
I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, right?
well, I
I,
mean,
well,
while
I
you're
understand what you're saying, but
like it's like a testimonial from a guy like you is very different from me given the sales pitch.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So when somebody advocates for the safety element and they're not necessarily a Centrotherm employee, it goes further.
Yep, 100%. So, I mean, obviously, if you've both been with the company 5-7 years, what would you consider your biggest success so far?
Ooh, Matthew, go first on that one. I know my answer, but please go first.
I'd like to think the podcast is one of our biggest successes.
That's a year old, right?
What's
Yeah,
that? Yes, it is. It is now. 14. The March episode will be our 13th episode, our 14th episode. So, I mean, that was another thing where we started moving the industry more towards a digital space, and we have had some really, really impressive guests. We need to have you on. So yeah, we'll set that up. And I mean, last month we had Aniban Basu on, who is always a featured speaker at the Hardy events. So we've been getting some really nice guests who have a lot of good stuff to say, and the interviews just kind of roll themselves. We're not struggling for content or pulling teeth with people. And shout out to Terrence of the Impetus, Michael Flynn, Colin Sadler. These guys who are people that are known. They've been guests on our podcast already. We had the CEO of Hardy on. We've had great guests. We've had good success. We've had OEM guys. We've had engineers. We've had sales personnel. We've had installers. And we're looking to just keep going, keep growing it.
Amazing. Love it.
So I would say, just to kind of reiterate, Matthew, we're really proud of what we've done with the mechanical room. And it's not about, I mean, obviously we weave Centrotherm things in there, but one of the things that when Matthew and I were setting it up, thinking about what our objectives would be for the podcast, we wanted it to be about the industry, right? We had an economist about the plumbing and heating, industry, right? Just to kind of give exposure to the great, it's the mechanical room and everything that surrounds it. And yeah, again, we weave some Centrotherm things in. We're proud of that. But for me, as much as I'm very proud of what we've done on the marketing side, which a lot of hands off to Matthew, one of the things that I am also very proud of is our rep organization. We have taken literally 4 years to position ourselves with top manufacturers reps in the market. And we're only as strong as our partners are. And
I
that
agree.
cascades down to distribution, right? Who are the key distributors? How do we educate them? How do we train them? How do we cascade that knowledge down into the market? So I have kind of a buzzword that I use all the time, and I call it value chain. And that's going from us to our regional sales managers, to our reps, to our distributors. And we very deliberately spent a lot of time structuring our value chain and all those those steps in that process, structuring it so we can service the market as best we can. And we're just
Michael is a channel like
geek.
expert. He knows the synergy between the different levels of the channel and how best to thread it. And I mean, I was, I'm 7 years, Mike is 5. Those 2 years that we had beforehand, we had some pretty dodgy reps, I must say. And we have
No names mentioned, please.
no names mentioned. They know who they are.
They
Man,
always do know who they are. Yeah.
Michael has reshaped the sales organization, and in doing so, it has been our ability, has grown our attractiveness to those professional rep organizations who then represent us in the market. And I mean, sometimes it's as easy as that to turn people over. There are trusted people in the market, and installers turn to those guys because they know that they are experts in the field. And if they're on our side, then those installers are almost automatically on our side too. And it's a really nice. It is all channel management, and that is really one of Mike's exceptional skills.
And I mean, even this event here in Miami, it touches many aspects of that value chain, right? We've got our regionals here, and we're talking about regional strategy, how that correlates to the national strategy. We have our reps here for part of the meeting. All our manufacturers reps across the U.S. and Canada are coming in for a listening session, if you will. There's some topics of interest that we're going to be discussing, but what is it that they need in the field that we need to enable them with? There's a large part of that meeting where we're going to be listening to them tell us what they need and what they want, and then cascading it all the way down to the installers. We've got some key installers coming here, very respected names that are hands-on with tools. And what we try to do with that event is to make it what we call in marketing experiential based. It's just one of those things that Matthew and I were talking about structuring this meeting, and we said we've got to have these guys come in, and we need to create an experience. And then I went away on vacation, and I binged while I was away. I binged Squid Game. And I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if we created games around Centrotherm? We are eliminating the real, true craftsmen of the industry in a experiential event, and that's what gave birth to the.
You realize Squid Game's a sad story, right?
It is, but we're making it.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
We're making it a
the
fun
games
happy.
are absolutely intriguing, but the ending is very sad.
It is very sad.
We have promised these people that there will be at least less casualties than the program.
We do have guns and we do have bullets, although they're made. It's a Nerf bullet.
There we go.
We're
probably going to get flagged for that, just so you know. Guns and bullets. That's coming down YouTube immediately, just so you know.
That's true. We're all about safety, right? We're all about safe.
All about safety.
Safe Squid Games.
So, and that's just to sort of backtrack on what you guys were saying about your installers and some of the comments that you get. I've seen B-Vent that's been around forever installed improperly. I've seen C-Vent installed improperly. And so that training, if you will, has to be, the onus is on those installers to find out what they're doing. And as you know, we've installed your product, I don't even know now, probably 20 different jobs, and never. The only problem that we've ever had is getting the product, frankly. Is getting the proper adapters to get to what we want to get to, which is not your problem. It's a worldwide problem that we deal with. Every installer deals with every single day. So,
Right.
Hopefully, as we get through this ridiculous world that we're living in at the moment, things start to that, as Matt did, the lubrication starts to hit the necessary spots and things move smoother, right?
That's
We
right.
hope. So,
We hope.
looking back, right, I'm going to show my age now. And I was working for an electrical company, like at the time. Every so many years, there's disruption, right? I remember, working for Square D with the year 2000 and the .com. We supplied a lot of data centers with equipment, and it was the end of the world, right?
Yeah, we were gonna
So
die. I was there.
right, so it was disruptive, right? And then you had 9/11. I had responsibility for New York City during 9/11, and it was crazy. And then there was a financial crisis, and then it's COVID, and now it's the Ukraine, which is absolutely heartbreaking. I was born in Europe, so it's heartbreaking to see places so close to where I'm from going through this. But there's always going to be disruption. Hopefully cooler heads prevail and we do the right things. But disruption is, I don't, change is the only constant. Disruption is going to come again.
No,
And we just got to, ebb and flow with it and make the best of it.
no, I was working for my dad when Desert Storm
Yeah.
happened, and there was it would, like you say, the ability to deal with those disruptions is just part of life, right? Everybody gripes about it in the moment, but the next one's coming, whatever the name of it is
Right.
just
Quick
something
shout out to Rick from Wales Derby in the house.
Hello there, guys. And the other thing I would say with disruption, and this is something we, again, talk about all the time, disruption is opportunity. Yeah, it's painful depending on what's going on. And going back to the comments with reps, when we were going through the beginning of COVID, we actually had some reps. It's like, okay, guys, we need to change the way we do things. We need to be more digital. We need to, we need to jump on training. Things are shut down. Hot rod going by. So we had some reps that said, you know what, we're just going to wait this out. We're not going to do anything different. And that was a problem for us because, we can't just wait. Waiting's not in our nature.
No.
We've got to, develop new products. We've got to do different things. We've got to train. We've got to do all kinds of, we got to change with the times.
So what does that mean? Like, you're down in Miami, you're inviting all these fabulous people down there. I unfortunately couldn't be there for reasons beyond my control. But what's the future? Don't drop the game changers or the revolution or whatever.
Yeah. No.
So I think a good kind of look at the future would be sort of a hybrid digital and old school model with a sort of a shifting depending on market, depending on receptiveness to a particular target, right? So there, some of our more deft reps were able to just go boom, and we're digital during COVID, and that was it. And they just did training in the mornings and Zoom, and they trained hundreds of people via Skype or MS Teams or Zoom or any of that kind of stuff.
I have them all on my phone. It's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah, me too. It is ridiculous. So I know Rick from Wales Derby is on right now, and they're a good example of an organization that pivoted quick, and they're good with the digital training. They have a very strong media presence that allows them to touch a lot of people without actually physically touching them. And that makes all the difference. So continuing to disrupt is to find new ways to sort of get that message out and be fun. That's one of the reasons I like to post the dogs and the goat pictures and stuff like that, is because it's something fresh and interesting. It's not just kind of blasé commercials. There's a lot of, for better, for worse, there are plenty of manufacturers and organizations that are all like straight down sales stuff. And you are going to lose attention with that. It is boring. I don't want to know about it. Especially, my generation and younger, we're conditioned to skip ads. That's it.
Yeah.
If your Instagram is only ads, I'm skipping your Instagram. You know what I mean? So I'll pay for premium so I don't have to see ads. And when I need something, I'm going to go and do some research. So better give me something different to keep my attention.
So that interesting thing on that comment, and I was preparing we have our reps in a couple of days. Part of our meetings with them is what's going on with digital and social media and such. To one of the questions earlier from Velocity, which was, are you investing in social media? We are. And I don't remember the statistics, so don't quote me on the numbers. But in essence, boomers are able to block out and ignore about 20% of the traditional, advertising. Generation Xers block out about 50. Millennials block out about 70%. And I forget what the next generation is blocking out the majority.
Gen
I'll
Z?
tell you this
Gen
right now.
Z?
I just turned 39. I'm on the older side. I'm like a Gen XE millennial, right? On the older side of millennial. I do my best to try to block out 100%.
Yeah. And
No, you make a conscious effort to do that, right?
100%.
To block that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another statistic
Go.
that's interesting is that in today's world, as we stand today, I think the number is like 82% of the buying decision is made before a traditional sales person is brought into the equation. So that's Google, that's social media, that's all these digital tools. So when you have, a sales organization that is relying on, the milk run, visit to their distributor, or that, go into a contractor rarely, it just doesn't fly with the younger generation. The majority of the buying decisions already made before they are engaged. So how do we get ahead of that?
I don't know. Like I said, I am not part of the younger generation. I mean, I just turned 52. And
happy birthday.
Like I said, thanks. Well, it was a while back.
All right, fair enough.
But, I mean, I knew nothing about you guys. Like, we were installing, 636 and, the traditional stuff until I saw Eric on Instagram run a coil up a masonry chimney, and I'm like, oh, my hell. And I have to go to my sales gal and say, what is this stuff? And where do I get it? And she's like, I don't know. Let me find out for you. And so, I said before, our only challenge is getting our hands on the stuff, which is getting better all the time.
Yeah, we got some stuff in the works to make it even easier. We got some long-term plans and some short-term plans for availability stuff.
Yeah. But that just goes to what Mike was saying. Like that, I don't even know. You must have a metric somewhere in your system that tells you, how many sales you get from traditional means versus your digital presence. But that's got to be growing every day.
It is for
sure.
We
monitor that, and we're giving the competition some clues, but that's okay. We're trying to get to sign on with social media tracking tools like Awario, Sprout Social to understand that. And that's you said you found out in a digital medium, a social medium. That's why we're investing the time and the effort, as responsible Centrotherm citizens, to understand the different buying needs, that people have, and how do we touch them all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
People like you, people like Eric, that's Ani, that's Silva, people like Omar the plumber who just joined, right? They're trusted. There's a reason why they have good follower base is because they know what they're doing, and and as such, a statement from them or a quick explainer from a video that Terrence of the Impetus Plumbing posted has something like 52,000 views. I can't pay to put an ad in a magazine.
What would that cost you?
Right.
Like legitimately, if you went to a Google and said, I want this to hit 52,000 people, they'd be like, it's $1 a hit.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that type of testimonial, it goes so much further than traditional print advertising, which is a real guessing game, and even stuff like Google Ads, which you can make them extremely targeted. You really can. It's fascinating how targeted you can make them, but at all costs. And me personally, I have an ad blocker on. I won't even see that.
Yeah. Right. And I've done the Google Ads, and they're like, okay, well, what do you want? And I target my audience, and who am I missing when I think this is who I want to target my stuff to? And but there's also those guys outside that target that would easily employ me or, use me for whatever services. So the beauty of this Instagram, LinkedIn world and all the rest of that stuff is it's just so broad based, and the people that you want to contact with, you're in contact with immediately.
Right.
Like you say, what are we, 4,000 miles apart, and having a, instant conversation?
Sure. And right now, Buddy and Tom are in Boston. Omar is I think he's actually in Miami-Dade, so he's not too far away from here. You're in Alberta. We're in Miami. I saw an EMCO join just a bit ago, so they're somewhere in Canada as well. I'm pretty sure we had somebody from Connecticut on just a bit ago. I mean, this is how we're touching more people right now than if I put a full page ad out in any of the trades.
Yep, 100%. Well, I think that's where it is. I think you guys have hit it on the head. I think you're doing a fantastic job on doing that. Any teasers for what new products you got coming down the line?
Yeah, we got some new stuff coming that's going to be part of our. Might give away some more clues for the games here. We've got a 6-inch flex for commercial applications. I've seen your posts on flex. So it's a 6-inch flex product for larger applications. We've got a pre-assembled, if you will, air intake and exhaust product. Matthew, do you want to give away the clue on that?
I'll say not the sniffer.
Not the sniffer. So the exhaust is called the Snork. We tried to get fun, have some fun with this. The all pre-assembled exhaust is the Snork for snorkel, and the intake is the snout. And we won't give away the number where we want to redesign our bazooka, and we have a kick-ass name for it. Don't give that one away.
So you got to save something for the paying customers that you brought down there. So that's fine.
That's right. So we got some stuff. We've got a new product manager, Austin Rivera, who actually his first day on the job is going to be down here. One of the games is going to be
Baptism by fire.
Mousetrap. It's going to be kind of a forward-looking game. Build a better mousetrap. So it's all about new products. Again, with the games on Wednesday this week, there's so many elements that are coming together, weaving together. It's going to be fun.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it digitally. That's fantastic. Congratulations, you guys. What should I be asking you? But I'm too dumb to know. I don't know enough.
Oh my goodness. Well, have you ever?
There's a lot.
Have you ever used the concentric stuff?
Yeah.
You have? Okay, so you know about that. So you know about the flex. You know about the concentric. You know about the single wall. You know it all. I mean, we'd like to. I mean, it's a system, and it is technical, and there's a lot of engineering that goes into it. But the simplicity and the easiness of the product itself is really one of its biggest, draws. No glues, no primers. All that stuff. So that's where the beauty lies. How easy it is, how quick it is. That and then of course how safe it is. And don't take, of course, our word for it. Take Intertech's word for it. Hint, 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 guys. Hint. We're giving away all the answers right now.
Intertech.
Real good preview. So, I mean, that's one of the, we worked really hard to achieve, those listings. And, I mean, that gives us, we can point to somebody else saying it's safe at that point, right? That's a peace of mind where you don't have to take our word for it. There's a stamp on it that was 47 tests long to make it so that it is achieve that safety level.
It's amazing to your product is amazing to me. Truthfully, like when I saw that install and thought, why am I not using this stuff? And is that even legal? Coming from like I said, that was literally the question to Eric. Is like, how is that even legal? Like, what are you doing? Is that plastic pipe or what the hell? And so we had a fairly in-depth conversation about it. And like I say, it's fascinating to me on both sides of it to see what you guys as a company are, the technology, which is what it is, that you're able to manufacture and produce and put out there. And then, that learning curve of. I mean, I come from the era when it was cast in copper, and when plastic pipe came out in any form, it was poo-pooed by everybody. This is ridiculous. It'll never last. It warps. It does whatever. And
Change is difficult.
yeah,
That is a battle we fight. Right? This is very new to some people. It was at one point new to you,
yeah,
and that's where the biggest learning curve is. And I mean, we're lucky because a lot of times if we can get this product in somebody's hands and give them that proper training, then the jump is made pretty quick.
yeah,
But change is tough. There are some people who are just, for whatever reason, absolutely reluctant to change.
yeah.
That's just it. I mean, it's human nature.
Don't sell it. So don't sell it in Texas, because that's how I got my account taken down. The first one
Oh
was
no.
bragging about Vega and their press fittings, and some guy from Texas is like, dude, that's absolute crap. And so I said some things I probably shouldn't have said,
Yeah, that was
and got
heartbreaking.
taken.
I followed when that was happening to you. I was like, oh my God, how much effort and time did he put into this? And then, boom.
It's just like, yeah. That's the beauty of digital, though, right? That's what I said. I'll start another one and another one and another one. Like, I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
it is a little bit sad, but life is full of disappointments, and you just sort of move on forward. And just like I say, don't say anything bad about Texas, because they got big feelings along with everything else.
Yes, they do.
Okay, you're in Miami. I'll ask. This one's for Matt. Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's funny. I know Mike's a Marvel guy. I'm more of a DC guy, so I'm going to go with Wonder Woman on that one.
Wonder Woman?
I'm going to go with Wonder Woman on that. I'm not really a big superhero guy. I'm more of a Star Trek dork.
Sorry. Which
I'm
one?
more
Which one? The
Deep
original?
Space Nine. Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah,
There we go.
I love Deep Space Nine and the Next Generation. The original series is very campy and also, I mean, certainly revolutionary. But I mean, I have very fond memories watching the Next Generation with my dad, mom. When I was like real small. I mean, that started in the late '80s, so I was a little guy when that started. And then Deep Space Nine is my absolute favorite because it's completely different than the rest of them. They were all about starships. This was about a star. It was about a space station. So
That's right.
It's centralized, and the people come into it, and all the stuff that happens in the politics of the galaxy. Deep Space Nine is where it's at. My childhood dog, a beautiful Doberman, who I probably will never get another dog, because who's ever going to take the place of Cisco, named after, of course, Captain Cisco, Avery Brooks' character, who is one of the most badass people in the history of Star Trek.
Okay, well, I have some friends of mine that don't live far away, and they are absolute Star Trek weirdos, and named all of their children after Star Trek characters.
Like Odo and Kira and
what's their freaking names? Now that I've said that, I'm gonna Sashir's one of them, which is apparently
Bashir.
No, Sashir.
Is that a new one? I'm not sure. Is that a
it's
new
like
character?
no, it's like a Star Trek flower.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, fascinating. That's amazing. I don't even know that. I guess I'm not as dorky as these guys.
No, they're absolutely. They live it. Like Like what you just said. Every time I talk to them, for whatever reason, it's like, dude, it sort of applies to Star Trek, and I'm like, man, I appreciate that you love that stuff. Not everybody loves it, but good for you.
Everybody likes different stuff,
Is any new Star Trek things coming out, or are they done?
I'm not a huge fan.
How about the movies? Not a fan of the movies?
I like the movies with the original cast. I like the movies with the Next Generation cast. The remake movies are really just action films that are skinned as Star Trek, and I'm not a huge fan of them. They're actually decent films, but it's not Star Trek. It's just an action movie. It's a popcorn J.J. Abrams thing, with familiar characters. So, I mean, they're okay, but to me, it's not the same. Star Trek is not an action thing. It's philosophy. It's geopolitics or intergalactic politics. It's not a lot of there of course are battles and things, but that's not my favorite. I like the serial episodic building of the story and the world building as opposed to what the J.J. Abrams movies are, which are, I mean, if they just put different names on it, it could just be another sci-fi film,
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. The plot's all the same. Whatever. It's just whatever character. So that must mean you must be a gamer on some level.
No, I'm a guitar player.
Nope. A guitar player? All right,
yeah,
give me
I'm a music guy.
Oh, is that Grateful Dead that I saw on the backside?
You're absolutely right. It was Grateful Dead.
Nice job, baby.
I got them all.
Good for you.
He's gonna start taking his clothes off now.
Okay, yeah. Well, he's next to the lady. Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Who else is in there?
That's so this is a famous Canadian right here. Can you see?
Can I see him? I can't.
Neil Young.
Oh, Neil
Frank
Young.
Zappa.
There's Zappa. There we go. Love it.
I got it all. I got all kinds of weird tattoos going on over here.
So, are you in a band then?
I'm currently working on a new album with my buddy. It's just him and I, and we haven't played live. We're studio stuff. We're working on our second album. I have a couple albums with an old band out there, and I've recorded a bunch of stuff. And I do YouTube content as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll send you some links offline.
Send me some links, and we'll check it out. That's awesome. Love it. All right, Mike. I'm not sure we can get as much mileage out of this question as we just got out of Star Trek.
Depends on your question.
Well, again, it's in Miami, so is it French or string?
Say that again?
French or string? He doesn't know.
I'm at a, I don't know.
He's wearing string.
No, what's your preference? Yeah, French bikini or string bikini? You're in Miami.
My wife might be watching, so I got to be careful on how to Brazilian.
Well, that's fine. What would you prefer to see her in? I guess I don't know.
Brazilian. Kind of in the middle, I think.
What up, Connor?
Answer.
We'll see you down here soon, bro.
Yeah, there's not a lot of content around that one.
No, I'm sorry.
So actually, all right. So here. Tell this story, Mike. Show the jersey and tell the quick story that just happened.
Oh. So I'm a Boston Celtics, and I'm a Bucks fan as well. And one of the reasons I'm a Bucks fan is because of Yanni Antetokounmpo, who is Greek, right?
Yeah.
I follow Greek sports because I was born in Greece. I came here very young. So my son is 8. So about 7 years ago, I was in Greece. My son and my wife were here. I shot over there for a little bit. And on my way back, I stopped at the airport. Or I didn't stop. I had to go to the airport. And there was a Antetokounmpo shirt, number 34, for, like a 7 or 8 year old kid. I said, you know what? I'm going to grab it. Because, where am I going to find a Greek, the national basketball team jersey? So I grabbed it, figuring my son would grow into it. So last week we were in the Bahamas on kind of a little vacation, and my wife.
We get around, by the way. We get around a little bit.
We do. My wife was like, "Hey, should we bring, the Antetokounmpo shirt?" And it's like, it's getting a little small. So she's like, you know what? Just bring it, because this is probably going to be the last time. He's grown out of it. It's going to be the last time he can wear it. Being in the Bahamas is a pretty cool thing. So bring it and he can wear it. So here we are in the resort that we were at. And who do we see walking by?
No way.
But Yanni Antetokounmpo and his brother Thanasi. And it's holy shit. How do we get this jersey autographed? So I was able to talk to his brother Thanasi, which he has the reverse number 43. I went over to him. I spoke to him in Greek, and I'm like, hey, I'm Greek. I've been following you guys since you were on the Greek national team. I've got this jersey here for an 8-year-old. Can you guys sign it? So he's like, go get it. I'll sign it, and I'll try to figure out how to get my brother to sign it. So I ran up to the room. I got the shirt. I got a Sharpie, brought it down. He autographed the shirt. And then he said, leave the shirt at the front desk, and I'll get my brother to come down. So I have a Greek national team shirt that's 10 years old, roughly. with both of their autographs, which is really, we're pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, his
That's
kids
fantastic.
were super excited. It was pretty late. I ran into him with one of the sales managers.
1 second, boys. It's going to cut me off here. I thought I had fixed this, but we've been on for an hour, so let me just.
Sorry about that. I don't know how to fix that stupid thing. It says that I up for 4 hours of lives, but as you can see,
There's a big fat lie, which is frustrating. So, unfortunately, I'm the tech monkey on this stupid thing.
No worries. That was the end of my story. It was very cool and very memorable evening meeting those guys.
I bet.
Mi gente,
What were they?
mi gente. What up, Louis?
Was he? Louis in there. What's up? What are they doing in the Bahamas? Was it over the? Wasn't he at the All-Star game?
It was right after the All-Star game.
It was the week break they had between the All-Star game and starting back up again.
There you go. Well, that's a rare sighting. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah, good. That's better than French or string. Appreciate that.
Yeah, there you go.
So I got to meet him briefly too. It's kind of a funny story because I'm not a basketball fan, and I heard that this was going on. So I'm actually in the bathroom at the urinal, and I'm like, I've had a few cocktails at this point, right? And I'm just thinking to myself that the guy next to me is like, man, that guy's really tall, like whatever, that guy's really tall. And then like in slow motion, I'm like, that's the guy. It was pretty funny. It dawned on me a little bit later on, so it was kind of funny.
You didn't realize it in the moment? It was that like
it was like slow motion, like 30 seconds later. I was like, oh, wait a second. There's probably not that many 7 feet tall guys walking around here. That's probably.
Well, I'll hand it to those guys. It's not very often that you get the brothers on the same team that are that make it to the NBA. So
that's part of the strategy. I think Thanasi is kind of like the whisperer for another company.
No, Alex manifested it, if you remember. Our marketing associate's a big NBA fan as well, and she said, we're going to meet somebody famous on this trip, and so she's taking claim for manifesting NBA personalities down in the Bahamas. So
positive thinking.
I asked her to bring Weird Al down to Miami, so we'll see if that works out.
Oh, wow. Let me know if that happens. I'd love to see if Weird Al shows up down there.
Oh, me too. I love Weird Al. I cannot wait. April 27th, I have the VIP package. He's my absolute, one of my favorites. This is the Weird Al.
Where's he playing?
Weird Al tattoo right there, the accordion.
Look at that.
So the accordion is in homage to Weird Al.
How is the accordion? Which parody is that?
Well, he just plays the accordion all the time, so that's just his instrument.
Oh, is that his thing?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Starting to rain.
All right, boys.
Going
Anything to add?
Just keep it locked into the social accounts of all these folks down here because we're going to be encouraging posting and live and all that sort of stuff, and we'll be coming out with a lot of good content after this. We have a videographer coming. I think Louis bringing a video crew as well, and we're going to be
probably
everything. What's that?
So I get you. So last question, I guess. Like most of the guys are walking around with a cell phone doing their thing. And then there's the next level that you got a sound guy and a freaking camera guy.
Oh, yeah.
Louis, that dude.
We're going to be flying a drone around on the rooftop.
Are you really?
Here. Oh, yeah.
Love it. I love it.
When we do it, we're all in.
You're all
in. Go big or
in.
go home, right?
That's what it is. Well, let me just offer whatever it means, some congratulations on what you guys have done so far. And wish you all the best and success in the future. I think you guys are hitting it out of the park, and we'll continue using it, continue repping it, and if I have any issues, I'll contact you directly.
Please
you know how to get us.
You got my cell phone, man. You got it.
Hey, that's the other nice thing about social media is you can go right to the source anytime.
Right?
Feel free.
That's the beauty of it. Like if you have those connections and put some time into it, then you can actually get the real answers from the people like you guys that actually know all the answers. So that's fantastic.
Cool.
Super
We
great.
thank you for your support. It was really nice and pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
team over there.
I can see the storms coming in. You guys got to get inside before it takes you
Still
out.
beautiful out here.
All right, gents.
All right, Father
Thanks
Baker.
very
It was nice.
much.
All right.
Enjoy the
See you
week,
later.
and we'll chat. We'll chat very soon.
Will do.
All
Take
right.
care. See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye for now.